Ready or not, here I go. 14 September 2020. Today's daily reflection, peace of mind. Let's get after it, sober friend. The channel. My name is Wayne and I'm an alcoholic. Today's daily reflection, peace of mind. Let's go. Do we lay the matter before our sponsor or spiritual advisor, earnestly asking God's help and guidance? Once again, if you need to replace God with a higher power of your choosing, do so. Not everybody believes in God, and that's okay. That's your thing. Meanwhile, resolving to do the right thing when it becomes clear, cost what it may. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, pages 86 and 87. My belief in a higher power is an essential part of my work on step 9. Forgiveness, timing, right motives are other ingredients. My willingness to do the step is a growing experience that opens the door for a new and honest relationships with people I have harmed. My responsible action brings me closer to the spiritual principles of the program, love and service. Peace of mind, serenity, and a stronger faith are sure to follow. Wait a sec. Are you saying that I have to believe in God and that I have to be spiritual and I have to forgive people who I harmed and they have to, well, they don't have to do anything. That's the beauty of it. So no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you have to believe in God. I'm not saying that you have to go to church. I'm not saying that you have to be religious. What this is saying, in my interpretation, is that believing in a higher power, something greater than yourself, you pick what it is, something greater than yourself, is an essential part of working, the steps. Even though you may not be an AA'er, asking people to forgive the harm that you have caused to them, and even if they do or don't, but still admitting your own faults, is essential to growth. The same as having a belief in a power greater than yourself is a great tool and a great help in order to achieve asking for that kind of forgiveness. Being able to build relationships with people that, in the past you have caused, a lot of reasons for them to be disgruntled towards you, through you asking them to forgive you for it and admitting your faults and cleaning up your side of the street like we talked about before, will help you grow and help you find serenity and peace of mind. Because after all, that's what today's daily reflection is all about. And for me, I can personally say that, admitting my faults to my twin brother turned out to be that he didn't see any fault at all. Although I felt that I had harmed him. And I can even point out incidences to where, it would have caused a direct conflict and, disrupted his life. But when I poured it out to him, and I didn't pour out a bleeding heart and fall on a sword and all that kind of thing, I simply told him where I thought I faltered. And to my surprise, I may or may not have, but to my surprise, he completely let that go and said, let's build a relationship. And I said, you know what? That's a great idea because I got to start from somewhere. After all, I told you guys I'm about 4.5 years old anyway. The same thing resulted with multiple other people that I had made amends to, and it turns out that what I thought was important was not important and did not impact their lives in the way that I thought it did. They let it go. They forgave me. And, to walk around holding those burdens, thinking that I did something that I didn't necessarily do, I guess, was a relief in all kinds of ways for me, and it allowed me to find balance. Now, that doesn't hold true for everybody, because there are folks that I received a straight FU from. And that's okay too, because, I probably deserve that FU based off of some of the stuff that I did when I was drinking. Let me digest this real quick. Now, at times when I had to make an amends, I really couldn't make that full choice myself. I couldn't really decide how to go about making that amends. And so I had to reach out to my sponsor, and I had to reach out to my higher power. I had to ask for, some sort of direction, because I can lay it out there, but sometimes I can't see a clear path right in front of me. And it will at times require an additional source or an external source to help make that decision. I'm sure if you've made any large financial decisions in your life, in your sobriety, you may have reached out to your significant other to say, hey, is this a good idea? Should we really put this much money into it? And it's kind of the same philosophy when it comes to making amends, is that sometimes you have to just address that to somebody else to see what they think as well, because what you might think is possibly not the right answer or way to go about it. Like going up to, a neighbor and saying, hey, I messed around with your spouse. I'm sorry, dude. That might not be the best way to do that, because now you're disrupting third-party lives. Perhaps there's a different way to do that. And that, again, will give you a balance and help you to achieve that peace of mind that you're looking for. Make sense? So my responsible action brings me closer to the spiritual principles of the program. If I'm making these decisions in a logical way, because a lot of decisions that I made when I was drinking, I definitely didn't use any kind of logic whatsoever. Matter of fact, everything was from the hip, and I just went on. But if I'm able to do these things in a responsible manner, then I'm able to achieve spiritual principles of the program. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going to church and I'm getting on my knees, but it does mean that I am improving my conscious contact with my higher power, whatever it may be for you, and it allows me to grow within my recovery. If you're not an AAer, everything in this book can apply to your life and your recovery and sobriety in the same manner that it does for an AAer, just not in that framework, so to speak. So don't get caught up in this is an AA thing. This is a sober thing, and this is your life thing. So that's today's daily reflection. I have to go to work now, and I will see you guys in the next one. And I hope you have a good day. Love you all. Goodbye.